ready to go. So he sent him to the States to this 2-week boot camp in Connecticut, actually. Dog had to stay for 2 weeks. They had to go down the third week to work with the dog. Dad put him through all these tricks, going over things and all this type of German Shepherd training. They went down, the dog performed beautifully. They're coming up the Pennsylvania Turnpike, they stop at a toll booth. The lady reaches in to get the money, the dog goes ballistic. The lady told me, the wife of the client, she said, I started to cry. So we spent all this money and the dog went to attack the toll booth because it didn't take a fear of women. And what happened was, in investigating, because do dogs bite for something to do? Is it just, I'm going to bite somebody, here's my day planner, I'm going to bite? Or, I'm going to get up, grab something to eat, go for a walk, have a nap, then go bite somebody. See, they don't. They bite for a reason. I found out, you ask a lot of questions when a dog bites. You know what they do? They had a trainer do when the dog was young, a puppy, a female trainer. When the dog wouldn't submit, would hold the dog up by the leash and then take the dog's feet off the ground. Well, you don't think that created fear in the dog of women? Men are fine. But women, because that's what that dog associates with, women. So it's the next door neighbor, it wants to go. Lady just out putting her garbage out, and that dog wants to go at it. Because it's being proactive, it's not waiting. You see, so we never want to create fear in a dog. We want the dog to respect you, but you get nothing positive out of creating any type of physical fear with the dog. Making sense? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, in a clinical setting, it's difficult because sometimes the procedures that you're doing are painful or uncomfortable, so
Yep.
the animals do become fearful.
They do, and that's where clients have folks that are taking their dogs to the vet. That's where it's the owner's job to deal with the dog, to tell the dog that you don't need that you're wrong for thinking of biting the vet or the vet tech. It's not the vet tech, because the vet tech, don't forget, it's a strange dog. Reaching over, grabbing, or the veterinarian reaching over, grabbing the timid dog. There's anxiety and what do I do, they're being grabbed, so the dog wants to snap. But it's the owner's job to deal with the dog when it goes to the vet. It's not the vet's to deal with it. And frankly, I get a lot of vet referrals, and not just me, but our company, because vets say, man, the dog's so much better when the owner has control when it goes into the clinic, not what do I do and put the muzzle on, because that's the muzzle the dog. Because vets have to make money. They have patients. They can't sit an hour going, okay, how you doing, buddy? To build that trust. I got this, I got others, I got surgery, whatever else. I got coffee, I got lunch. All ready. I got things to do today. I can't spend an hour with one examination, but it's the owner's job to deal with their dog. And who should be responsible for their dog and their dog's behavior? The owners, right. But a lot of times owners want others to train their dog for them. Right? My dog jumps on me. What do folks say when a dog jumps on them? When they jump on your guest, what does everybody tell their guests to do? Ignore the dog or turn around. So if that dog's jumping and it's reading the body language of someone coming in, so remember the dominance and submission, right? Dominance, everything up in a dog, so they read our bodies. Because remember, that's how they do things. They read body language. So a guest walks in, what position is a guest when they walk into the house? Dominant position, right? So the dog jumps up, does a dominant act, and if you turn around, what have you gotten your guest to do to the dog? Submit. So now the dog can push it around. It's up to the owner to say, don't jump on my guest. Jumping is wrong, I've got that guest. Yes, sir?
You might be getting to it later in the presentation, but you talked a lot about correcting behavior before it starts.
Mm-hmm.
What mode is that correction in? Like how do you correct the dog? Or how do you advise the correct?
We have, and Stephanie was here because I worked with Stephanie and her boyfriend and her dog. It's basically mimicking what dogs do. A growly sound. That's what I was saying back to when I have so many folks that say, listen to my husband. Because the husband, when he gets to the point going, get over here. Well, it's the growl the dog expects. So rather than no, stop it, sit, stay, because when a dog's adrenaline is pumping, I guarantee you, and every client I Do you think if a dog's adrenaline's pumping and running at the door, it'll stop for a treat on the way? It's got to get to the door. I mean, when it's flying to the door, you hold the treat up. I have clients who have been through treat training. Hold it. Did you hold it? Yeah, right by it jumps on my desk. Because the adrenaline's pumping, I'll send some food, I'll send you treats, I'll send you to go outside. But the deal is, teach the dog they shouldn't be doing it. But also, don't forget, you want to make sure they respect you so that it matters. Without interacting with your dog in a way that teaches them to respect you, why would they? What do you think is the, this gets on to the next thing. What do you think is the biggest way we make mistakes with dogs, with our dogs and with the most common pitfalls of dogs? Is it inconsistency? Inconsistency big time, because if you want to teach anything, what do you have to be? Consistent. Think of why people speed. You know, speed up Gordon or speed along Stone. Well, because they know they're not getting a ticket every time. There's no consistency. They're gambling, right? I'll go 60 through there, or 80, or whatever. Maybe I'll get a ticket, maybe I won't. If they got a ticket every time they went 51, think of how slow that traffic would be. Because it would be consistent. You know, when you're consistent with your dog, they'll learn. Think of a pack leader. Is a pack leader inconsistent with ruling his pack? No, the rules are the rules. So it learns to respect. So consistency definitely. But think of what else. How do we interact with our dogs? They're cute, right? They come over and want us to pet them. They want us to play. Do we do everything they say? That's why I asked you, who's owned by their dogs? How do their dogs, think of how your dog manipulates you throughout the day. How many times it gets you to do something that it wants? Who's winning? Who's, I call it, who's living in their world? You see, the big thing is we think that dogs love us, but they actually manipulate each other to have fun. That's what they're doing to us when I'm going to jump on you. Hey, I'm going to play. I'm going to bring you a toy. I'm going to play with you right now. I'll do everything. I love the back door. How many how many folks' dogs go to the back door? Tap on the door, you let him out. And I say, okay, does he pee every time? No, just looks in the backyard, comes back in. Because it's saying, I'm bored. You haven't paid attention to me for a while. You pay attention. I've had folks who, they open the door, the dog looks at them and walks away. I got you to pay attention to me. See, dogs are manipulative things. And they're own. We don't realize they're manipulating us. But think about it, they manipulate each other to have fun. They want to play. What do? They jump. They bite the other dog in the butt. They bite its feet. Get the dog to run away. Walk over and steal a toy. Steal something. You're going to chase me. That's why they have fun. Because they don't throw frisbees. They don't throw tennis balls. They don't take shots. They don't do any of those things. They don't even go to the fire. Think of how many times we give in to dogs' demands. So why should it respect us? Every time you said something, every time it said something, you jumped. Who does the dog think is running the show? Whereas we need to teach dogs that I'm running the show. You're living in my world. I love your pieces, but you're living in. And therefore, you build the respect that allows you to start teaching the dog rules. You know, does everybody respect their parents 100% equally? The reason I ask that question is because I grew up in a time, you know, mothers stayed at home, fathers went to work. What's that phrase with mothers? Peace at any cost. Every mother tells me that has multiple kids. Peace at any cost. So we loved my mom, but we knew that no was maybe. We kept, can I want an ice cream? No. Please, can I have your receipt? No, you can't. Please, no. Okay, here's 50 cents. Get one for your sister, too. Because it shuts them up. Dad would come home, you can't have an ice cream. No, outside. You can't have ice cream. Because we knew no was no. We respected Dad's no. Mom's no was maybe. You see? And that's what a dog will do if you don't both, if everybody doesn't act the same way. They know who they can push around. This has nothing to do with sexist, because I have a lot of male clients who don't want, who love their dog, and wives are at their wits' end. I'm tired of holding them. Oh, it's not so bad, June. Come on now, just jump on it. Just saying hi. I don't like it. I'm frustrated because I have to hold the dog. You're the one sitting in the chair while the dog's jumping all over everybody. So it's not that, women want the baby more than men. Men seem to be, that's close enough for me, right? It's fine for me. So think of when we want to teach. What do we use? Toys? Distractions? Treats to try to, get it to do something. Don't jump at the door. Sit, sit, sit. If the treat is a treat, you don't have the treat. What would happen, do you think? It's going to run to the door. Because there's no payoff for it to stay there because you're not there. We want the dog to learn to do things when you're not there, holding a treat or a distraction. We want the dog to do it because they learn your rules, not because there's a payoff every time at the end. That makes sense? Like you learned rules growing up because your parents were consistent. They didn't every time you did something, you gave you a pat on the back or gave what went out and, now you can have candy every time you do something. We're going to buy candy right away. No, that got you the first few times, then you went, no candy, but I got to respect them because they're consistent. So, and the biggest mistake we make is after the fact, right? Would you agree? Correcting after the fact. Trying to teach a dog once it's done something not to do it. Well, we agree that timing is crucial. So catching them in the act is the key to teaching them. But after the fact, you might as well leave the barn door open because the horse is gone anyway.